It breaks my heart to see we live in this trap, and we don't understand, cause we want family. We want people, gotta do it. It breaks my heart to see we live in this trap, and we don't understand, cause we want family. Yeah, we are Africa.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for still staying with us on today's edition of Morning Prime. And of course, in case you're just joining us, today we are looking at youth empowerment and job creation in the country. How can we attend that? And of course, what is the way forward where jobs for the youths are concerned? And of course, as per tradition, you can actually call us on the numbers that are actually on your screen and get to interact with us. Tell us more, what is the way forward where where youth empowerment and job creation is concerned. This is something, it's almost becoming a cliche. We're creating jobs for the youths, but you go out there, there's a lot of youths out there that are actually complaining, even after school they have nothing to do. And in the studio with me is Miss Mary Manzole, the General Manager of Kilimanjaro Film Institute, and she's our guest on today's edition of Morning Prime, and she'll be able to actually tell us more about Kilimanjaro Film Institute and of course how the country can attain this youth empowerment and job creation. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, thank you.
Thank you so much for, I was thinking it's a sports show. I was going to say thank you for making a debut on Morning Prime.
Well, we can go sport as well.
But it's good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, basically, before we get into our topic of discussion, which is youth empowerment and job creation, maybe tell us more about Kilimanjaro, Film Institute. I think this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Sure. Kilimanjaro Film Institute is an institute that is looking at training youths, especially those that are coming from challenging backgrounds in audiovisual. Kilimanjaro is taking up this training, which is lasting for 2 years, where once these youths are trained, our main objective is to empower them so that they can go out there and be able to find a job, or rather be able to create their own job so that they can assist the other youths that are still roaming the streets.
Okay, can we safely say it's more like a media institution?
Exactly, it is a media institution. That's why I said it's audiovisual. In this institute, we are able to train our youths in the component of camera operating and editing.
Okay.
So the institute actually was opened in 2014, and when we opened, we started with 20 students. Yeah, so from the 20 students, we're able to gauge and see who would fit in camera operation and who would fit in editing. So currently, the ones that are started in October, as I'm talking right now, they're ready for intern. They're going for intern next week, which is first week of June.
Wow, interesting. Reminds me of my journalism, at school, and where you're done with school, you go for internship, and like I said in my preamble, I think it's the first time I'm learning about Kilimanjaro Film Institute, and I'm sure there are many youths out there that would love to, if you want to endeavor in film and audio, visuals, you can actually, get to Kilimanjaro and be empowered afterwards. Maybe before we get to the topic of discussion, where can, people find you and how can they just go about it?
Thank you. We are actually located in Kalundu, along Msazala Road at plot 5505. Currently, we are also running an advert on our social media page, which is our website, but also on our Facebook, where we are saying if you can't afford to stay in class for 2 years, for the 2 years length,
you can do it online. Amazing.
Not really online at the moment, but we're looking at going there because that's where everyone is focusing on. But currently, we'll be running a 10 days course, which is starting on the 13th of June to the 24th of June. These are short courses, and we are saying anyone can apply, and they're only going at 1,000 kwacha, and once you pay that amount, you'll be able to be also offered lunch when you come for these trainings, and at the end of the 10 days, you'll be able to get a certificate. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. If I didn't have my diploma in journalism and public relations, I was going to say, well, I want to join, I want to come. But anyway, I might consider, getting that extra knowledge where the media is concerned. But maybe away from Kilimanjaro Film Institute, let's talk about youth empowerment. It's something that is of topic every day. You find the youths out there. I have the papers, I went to college, but I don't have a job at the moment. But you have come up with this institution that is going to help, you know, those people that are coming from less privileged backgrounds. And what motivated you to go that direction?
The whole idea actually is to look at, okay, there are a lot of youths out there, like you have already alluded. So we are looking at, okay, if we leave them out, they roam the street and the like, then what happens with them? So Kilimanjaro Film Institute, the reason why we are targeting youths from challenging backgrounds is because we felt that actually these youths that are out there, there are quite a number of institutions around that are offering a similar course, but they need to pay some money. But with Kilimanjaro, thank God, sponsors came on board. So we are working with the ACP through EU. They are our major funders. We are also working with the Plan International Zambia. We are working with HIVOS. We are also currently with the short courses working with PEPZ.
Okay.
So our target group, when we focus at those that are coming from challenging backgrounds, we said, okay, even those that are school dropouts, I believe that they can be able to do something, because it's not about a credit or a merit, that one can do what they have a passion for. So at the point of entry, we are able to look at what is it that you are capable of doing when we are interviewing them. It's not just with that we just speak, no. But we also work with organizations that are already working with youths, so that we make sure that in the effort of trying to create jobs for the youths, we don't work in isolation, but we also work with other organizations that have been in this fora for a long time.
Okay. But generally speaking, I'm sure for you guys and your team, to come up with such an initiative, obviously you've been on the ground and seen what's happening in the country, what's currently happening, where youth empowerment and job creation is concerned. But maybe it's your initiative to do that. But generally, how can we attain youth empowerment and job creation as a country?
Generally, I would say that it's up to those people that have already made it in life. For example, even with Kilimanjaro Film Institute, we feel there are still a lot of people out there. If one or two people that have the capacity, have the resources, would come on board and say that, well, I am interested in sponsoring one or two students to come over and get this empowerment, then we'll be somewhere in the line of attaining this youth empowerment. The challenge that is currently prevailing on the ground is that for the people that have already made it on the market, they feel that, why should I bring this one on board? I'm already there. And for some of our youths, the challenge that they have is that they always sit down and say, well, I'm a failure. Well, I have to wait for Mr. So and so for them to bring me online. The other biggest challenge is that the mentality that our youths have, and this is not only the problem with our youths, it's also the problem with the curriculums that we have back at the schools. It's because when we go to school, we are taught in such a manner that when a person is at school, all we dream of is going out there and getting a white-collar job. Not forgetting that there are other forums, there are other scenarios where once you get out of school, once you just get a skill, you'll be a boss of your own. You can open your own account, your own company. We have a lot of innovators around who are not even identified by several people. But if people could take up their time and go out in these communities, they'll be able to realize that there are a lot of youths that are doing a lot of things. But at the moment when they push to want to be seen or to want to be known, no one recognizes them. It's only then that we can make sure that we empower these youths. Not every youth has the capacity to go and sit in an office and run an office. Some are good at mechanics, but there's this mechanic level which they start at a very small level, not where they go to the university and study and become engineers and the like, but start small. Then eventually they'll be recognized, I think.
Okay, interesting. You've talked of mentality and of course the curricula that we have in our schools. Let's talk about mentality. What is the mentality that we the youths should actually carry? Sometimes you actually mentioned something that I've actually witnessed. I hear someone sitting and saying, I'm waiting for my uncle to come back and help me with a job. But what are you doing yourself? So what mentality should we, the youth, actually carry?
As youths, I think key issue is people must have a focus. People must have a goal. Somebody must identify what is it that I want to achieve in life. Only then they'll be able to get to a certain level. As youths, there's no need for somebody to sit down and wait for my uncle, my cousin, or whatsoever. There's also a mentality where, for instance, youths where parents die.
Exactly.
They sit back and start crying forever and ever as it was in the beginning up to the end. Why should you sit down and start crying? What you need to do is to go out there. Look around. What is it am I good at? Once you identify what you are good at, because God has actually given all of us a talent. The challenge that we have is we do not dig deeper. We do not reflect on ourselves to look at what is it that I can be able to do. Upon realizing and upon discovering yourself, then you'll be able to go out there. And with a very minimal amount of money, because sometimes we think that I can only start up something with billions of money. No. Even a long journey starts with a step.
Just a step.
But as long as you sit, you never achieve that journey. But go out there. These days there's social media. The challenge with social media is each time, even when you are seated in a home, people are on social media only Facebooking. What are you talking about? Nothing constructive. But look for jobs there. Look for groupings that are going to help you build up your future. Then only then we'll have a better country and a better community.
I think I'm really interested, and with such talks, I'm sure the mindsets of the people that come to Kilimanjaro Film Institute will actually come out with a positive, mentality out there. So in case you're just joining us, you're watching Morning Prime, and today we are discussing, youth empowerment and job creation in the country. And in the studio with me is Miss Mary Manzole, the General Manager of Kilimanjaro Film Institute. This is an institution that is out there for the youths who are youths that are coming from, less privileged, backgrounds, and of course they are here to teach you, visual and, audio production, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and of course we are entering, we're going into an election period, and on the 11th of August we'll be voting and everything, but as usual, as per tradition, I hate to say as per tradition, but this is happening. The youths are the most vulnerable when it comes to, such, moments in the country. They are used as tools of political violence. Maybe an encouragement, a word from you, to the youths that, endeavor in such ventures.
Well, my word to the youths is that actually don't be taken. Don't be cheated, because once you look at being cheated, you will not achieve anything. As youths, first of all, you must ask yourself, if this person comes to you and wants to buy you with either beer or money, the question that you must have is, okay, if I get this beer or if I get this money, what will I achieve at the end of the day? For those youths that are eligible to vote, they must really look critically and say, okay, I have the right to exercise this right to vote because I am a Zambian citizen and I have that right. They must go out there on the 11th of August, vote, and vote wisely.
Okay.
They must not involve themselves in violence, because by so doing, then they are depicting the kind of people that they are going to be in the near future. Because imagine if there's this youth who today is in the forefront of bringing out this violence, and 10, 20 years from now, that youth aspires to be a leader of this country. You would ask yourself a question, what kind of a leader are we going to have? And getting back to Kilimanjaro Film Institute, well, when we have our youths, for those that would love to come aboard and be part of Kilimanjaro Film Institute, the youths that we have there, believe you me, the time they came in, they were different youths. But as I'm talking now, they have changed completely, because the course does not only focus at training them to become good camera operators or editors, but we also teach them entrepreneurship skills.
Interesting.
We also teach them life skills. as a human being, how are you supposed to survive? As a human being, if you go out there, what steps are you supposed to take if you want to become a good entrepreneur? How do you do things? What paperwork are you supposed to put in place if you're going to come up with your own organization or your own company or your own studio? These are the things that we teach them. As a youth, how do you relate with people out there, be it your age group, the elders, and many other people? And that also relates to what they do.
Okay, interesting. I can hear the phone buzzing there. Maybe we can accommodate a few calls and just hear, you know, the views of the people out there. Prime TV, good morning. Prime TV, good morning.